are struggling. 1, 2, 3.
Africa must be free.
4, 5, 6.
No way out of this.
7, 8, 9. And number 10. We will rise and shine again. Okay.
The All-African People's Revolutionary Party is a permanent revolutionary socialist Pan-African political party based in Africa. The AAPRP recognizes that African people born and living in over 113 countries are one people with one identity, one history, one culture, one nation, and one destiny. We have one common enemy, and that is capitalism and its manifestations, which include imperialism, Zionism, racism, and neocolonialism. We suffer from disorganization and ideological confusion, and we only have one scientific and correct solution, and that is Pan-Africanism, which is the total liberation and unification of Africa under scientific socialism. Until Africa is liberated from all forms of neo-colonial control, Zionism, and imperialism, no African anywhere is free. The AAPRP and PAIGC are unified by our organizational structures and ideology, which consist of a set of ideas that come from our dynamic African culture, which guides and directs our revolutionary thought and action towards the objective of Pan-Africanism and the inevitable triumph of socialism in the world. Both the AAPRP and PAIGC have women's wings, which play key roles, including politically educating our members about the historical and integral role of African women in the African Revolution. The African Party of Independence of Guinea and Cape Verde is a Pan-African revolutionary party whose ideology comes from the culture of our people. It is a socialist party, and its objectives are the total liberation of Guinea-Bissau, Cape Verde, the total liberation of Africa, and the unity of African people, standing against imperialism in the world. The Democratic Union of Guinean Women is the women's wing of the PAIGC, and the American Capital African Youth is the youth wing of the PAIGC. Founded in 1946, the Sudanese Communist Party is one of the oldest and most influential parties in Africa. Emerging from the anti-colonial struggle against British rule, the party has played a central role in Sudan's labor, student, women, and democratic movements for nearly 8 decades. Throughout its history, the SCP has championed national sovereignty, social justice, workers' rights, gender equality, and secular democracy, as well as the struggle against imperialism and exploitation. The party was a significant force in Sudan's independence movement and later became a key participant in the popular uprisings that overthrew military dictatorship in 1964 and 1985. The members of the SCP have also been active in trade unions, professional associations, educational institutions, and community organizations across Sudan. Today, the Sudanese Communist Party continues to advocate for a democratic and socially just Sudan, opposing military rule, foreign intervention, and economic policies that deepen inequality. The party remains engaged in the ongoing struggle for peace, democracy, and popular power, drawing on a long tradition of resistance and solidarity with liberation movements throughout Africa and the global South. So these are all the parties that are joining us today at this event. So just to quickly go over the program for today, we'll be joined by a number of guest speakers as well as cultural performers. And as we introduce these people up on stage, we're going to have English introduction as well as a Portuguese introduction as well. So the African Liberation Day objectives is to stand with the people of the world, Congo, Somalia, Sudan, Guinea-Bissau, USA, Haiti, Cuba, Venezuela, Guatemala, Iran, and elsewhere to see unity and coordination as a strategic move towards fighting imperialism and oppression. Welcome to African Liberation Day. So first up, we have TAVIA, who is a poet who explores roots, relationships, and belonging through rich, nature-based metaphors.
Por favor, juntem-se a mim para receber a TAVIA. Hi everybody. How are we doing? Okay? Good. Okay, I'm a very unserious person. So we're going to start with a little bit of fun. I feel like there's a lot of things in the world that there are to be mad about, but I think it's good to be mad together. So this first one, I just kind of like want to clear the air and everybody join in. When I point the mic at you, if you can shout rage, that would be incredible. So, rage! Lovely, exactly like that. Okay. Crack a rib and rip out half a lung. I've been breathing through the ice of shallow breaths that don't fill up. There is no depth. Blind my eyes through clouds of could've, sheets of should've, but never would've. I've been feeling like I'm not good enough for most of my life. Let that adrenaline wash my skin hot. It's alcohol toxifying my veins until I'm something more pure, less rotten. My pain long forgotten or replaced by my rage. I don't want to feel vulnerable anymore. I'd rather be victim to this. To be slipping to a fade, sipping on the beige, asking if this is it until I die. No, bring on my rage. Cut my teeth this way. I'd not go easy. I'd rather blaze and burn than live again this day. I want my inhale broken in 3 pieces, my head light, shimmering the bitter of the visionless night. I welcome the delirium that others might fight. Bring me my dreams, let me destroy them, and bring me my fears and let me enjoy them. Don't save me from my insanity, my ego from her vanity. I will disappear into myself, my mentally ill health. Step over my sadness and bring me my rage. Thank you. Our struggle is 1, 2, 3.
Africa must be free.
4, 5, 6.
We all live after this.
7, 8, 9. Rise and shine again. There's so much culture in this bingy. We've got speakers, players and singers. No one can deny, turn an ignorant eye to the flavors of spice that we're bringing. Our struggle is 1, 2, 3.
Africa must be free.
4, 5, 6.
We all live after this.
7, 8, 9. And number 10, we'll rise and shine again. There's so much power in this room. Oppressors should tremble in their boots. The weapon has Pan-African roots. Liberation is our destined truth. Our struggle is 1, 2, 3.
Africa must be free.
4, 5, 6.
We all live after this.
7, 8, 9. And number 10, we will rise and shine again. Okay.
Thank you so much, TAVIA. That was great. So moving on, we're going to have our first speaker of the day, which is Maurice Odingo, who is a revolutionary activist, mass organizer, Secretary General of the Kinshasa Committee, and Editor-in-Chief of the workers' newspaper, Cuba. Maurice Odingo is deeply involved in political organizing.
Chers camarades militantes, jeunes militants révolutionnaires, et recevez les salutations militantes et panafricanistes du Comité de Kinshasa.
Comrades, militants, and revolutionary militants, please receive the warm greetings and Pan-African greetings from the Comité de Kinshasa.
Oui, nous prenons la parole aujourd'hui à cette journée de la libération africaine avec une conviction profonde qui est la libération de l'Afrique ne sera jamais véritablement si nos richesses restent toujours entre les mains de l'impérialisme mondial.
And we want to talk today on this African Liberation Day with this strong belief that Africa will never be truly free until its wealth remains under the control, as long as its wealth remains under the control of global imperialism.
Cette journée n'est pas une simple cérémonie symbolique, c'est une journée de mémoire, de conscience et de combat. Nous sommes réunis pour rappeler que la libération de l'Afrique demeure une tâche historique inachevée.
This day is not just a symbolic commemoration. It's a day of memory, of conscious, and of struggle, because the liberation of Africa remains the biggest historical task still not yet achieved.
Comme vous le savez, notre terre regorge de richesses très nécessaires pour le puissant impérialisme, entre autres le cobalt, le cuivre, le coltan, l'uranium, et d'immenses ressources stratégiques indispensables au fonctionnement général du capitalisme mondial.
As you know, our lands are full of a lot of resources such as cobalt, copper, coltan, gold, lithium, and many other strategic resources that are indispensable for the functioning of the global capitalist system.
Oui, mais avec toutes ces richesses, pendant que ça profite au capitalisme mondial, qui s'enrichissent de nos ressources, le peuple africain continue de subir la pauvreté, les guerres, le chômage et les humiliations permanentes.
And while these resources are benefiting and profiting a lot, multinational and big corporations, our people continue to face poverty, wars, humiliation, anger, and joblessness.
Voilà la véritable nature du système capitaliste et mondial. Donc, un système dans lequel l'Afrique produit des richesses, mais ne bénéficie jamais pleinement de ses fruits, de son travail. Et donc, l'impérialisme n'a jamais, comme nous disons dans les comités de Kinshasa, l'impérialisme n'a jamais quitté l'Afrique. Il a simplement changé de méthode et tactique.
And that is the true nature of this imperialist system. The system in which Africa produces resources, raw material, but do not benefit at all from the fruit of its labor. And as we always say in Comité de Kinshasa, imperialism didn't truly leave Africa, it just changed methods.
Hier, c'était la colonisation directe. Aujourd'hui, ce sont les multinationales, les institutions financières internationales, les accords illégaux, les guerres organisées et les élites compradors qui défendent les intérêts étrangers contre leur propreté. Et comme vous le savez actuellement, avec la situation de mon pays, avec les accords entre le gouvernement et les États-Unis autour des minerais stratégiques congolais.
Yesterday it was direct colonization. Today it is multinational financial institution or unequal economic agreements, organized wars, or comprador bourgeois comprador elites which defend foreign interests against their own people, as you all know, with the recent economic agreement being signed between the DRC and the United States.
Camarades, comme vous le savez, il y a plus d'une décennie, à l'est de la RDC, il y a la guerre. Et cette guerre sert uniquement les intérêts impérialistes. Mais dans l'opinion publique, on nous présente que cette guerre, c'est une guerre entre le conflit et interethnique, ou soit un problème inter-congolais. Et quand on analyse la situation, derrière cette instabilité permanente, se cache une logique de domination et de pillage des minerais stratégiques indispensables aux industries automobiles et technologiques ainsi que militaires des grandes puissances.
As you all know, the DRC has been facing multiple conflicts that sometimes are portrayed in capitalist media as just being like between different tribes. But we know that the war in the Eastern DRC cannot be understood outside of its of the interest of imperialism, because behind this permanent instability, there is hidden the logic of domination and pillaging of mineral or strategic mineral indispensable to big industries in imperialist countries.
Et depuis l'assassinat de Patrice Emery Lumumba, les forces impérialistes ont compris une chose fondamentale. Un Congo souverain, organisé et révolutionnaire présenterait une menace pour le système mondial d'exploitation.
Since the assassination of Patrice Lumumba, imperialist forces have understood a fundamental truth that a Congo which is sovereign, conscious, and revolutionary would represent a biggest threat to the global imperialist system of exploitation.
Aujourd'hui encore, les puissances impérialistes font tout pour maintenir le Congo dans l'instabilité et la dépendance. Donc, elles craignent qu'un Congo conscient et organisé devienne le cœur de la révolution africaine en raison de sa position stratégique et de l'immense richesse de son sous-sol.
And even until today, imperialists are afraid that that a free Congo, that if Congo is liberated, would become the motor for the revolutionary renaissance of Africa, because not only because of its strategic position at the center of Africa, but also for the all the resources, the mineral resources that the DRC has.
Donc, nous disons souvent, le Congo n'est pas seulement le centre géographique de l'Afrique, il peut devenir le centre politique de la Renaissance africaine. Donc, quand celui qui contrôle le Congo influence profondément l'avenir du continent africain.
And we also want to clarify that the Congo is not only the geographical center of Africa, but it can also become the political center of the African revolution, because whoever controls the Congo would influence profoundly the future of the entire continent.
Oui, donc nous devons comprendre une chose, si le Congo se libère du contrôle impérialiste, toute l'Afrique sera profondément transformée. car le Congo occupe une position très stratégique au cœur du continent et possède des ressources indispensables à l'économie mondiale. D'où la lutte du peuple congolais dépasse les frontières nationales. Elle influence directement l'avenir politique, économique et révolutionnaire de toute l'Afrique.
And again, we cannot stop repeating it that if the Congo frees itself from imperialist control, all of Africa will be transformed, and that transformation will not be possible unless the popular masses of the Congo are organized against around revolutionary projects and clear with the support of progressive forces in the entire world, and because the struggle of the Congo will really goes beyond the Congo border.
Cette transformation ne sera possible que si les masses populaires congolaises s'organisent autour d'un projet révolutionnaire clair, avec le soutien solidaire des organisations progressistes et révolutionnaires du monde entier, afin de reprendre le contrôle de leurs richesses et de leur destin.
Oh yeah, yeah. Camarade Odingo, tu peux continuer, je crois que j'ai traduit ça en amont.
Et la question congolaise est donc une question panafricaine et cette lutte est liée à celle de tous les peuples opprimés du monde.
So the Congolese question is a Pan-African question, and the struggle of the Congolese people is linked to the struggle of all oppressed people everywhere.
Camarades, le comité de Kinshasa, nous avons compris que les discours seuls ne suffisent pas. La révolution ne se construit pas uniquement dans les conférences. Elle se construit dans l'organisation quotidienne du peuple. C'est pourquoi, oui,
and comrades,
c'est pourquoi, oui, c'est pourquoi nous travaillons concrètement à développer une conscience révolutionnaire panafricaine et socialiste parmi les ouvriers, les paysans, les étudiants et les communautés populaires.
Comrades, in Comité de Kinshasa, we have understood that speeches alone are not enough. The revolution is not built only in conferences, but it's built through the daily organization among the masses. That's why we work to develop the revolutionary consciousness, the revolutionary Pan-African and socialist consciousness among workers, peasants, students, and another local community.
Mais pour y arriver, nous considérons que le socialisme scientifique constitue la base idéologique indispensable de la lutte de libération africaine. Car sans analyse scientifique du système capitaliste et impérialiste, il est impossible de comprendre profondément le mécanisme de l'exploitation de nos peuples et d'organiser efficacement leur libération.
And to reach that, we have understood that scientific socialism constitutes the ideological basis indispensable for the struggle for the liberation of Africa. Because without the scientific understanding of the capitalist and imperialist system, it is impossible to organize efficiently the struggle and to liberate our people.
Le panafricanisme sans transformation socialiste risque de rester incomplet, car l'impérialisme se nourrit précisément de l'exploitation capitaliste de nos peuples et de nos ressources. La libération politique de l'Afrique doit nécessairement s'accompagner d'une transformation socialiste de nos sociétés.
And Pan-Africanism without socialist transformation may remain incomplete because imperialism survive of depends on the capitalist exploitation of our people and our resources, and the political liberation of Africa must be followed by a profound social transformation for the benefits of our people and the popular masses.
D'où notre travail sur terrain consiste notamment à organiser la formation politique et idéologique des masses populaires, à promouvoir le socialisme scientifique comme instrument de compréhension et de transformation de la société, et à sensibiliser le masse sur la nécessité de l'internationalisme, de l'internationalisme et de la solidarité entre le peuple opprimé, et ainsi à développer une conscience des classes parmi les travailleurs et la masse africaine.
And on the ground, our work consists mainly to organize political and ideological training of the popular masses or the masses of our people, and to promote scientific socialism as the instrument and the tool for social transformation, and also strengthen the understanding among our people of the solidarity between them and all other oppressed people around the world, so that we can develop a class consciousness among workers and the youth.
Et donc, nous croyons qu'il ne peut y avoir de véritable libération sans conscience politique, sans organisation révolutionnaire. D'où un peuple désorganisé reste toujours dominé, et un peuple conscient devient une force révolutionnaire.
And we believe that we cannot have true liberation without clear political consciousness and without a revolutionary organization. A people disorganized will remain under domination. However, a people which is conscious will become a revolutionary force.
Donc, comme le disait Sankara, la révolution et la libération des peuples ne se mangent pas, elles se conquièrent. D'où notre combat dépasse les frontières du Congo, comme je l'ai souligné, même celles de l'Afrique. Le peuple exploité du monde entier affronte le même système impérialiste.
And as Thomas Sankara said, revolution and liberation of our people is not as it is conquered, like it is taken. It's not given, and our struggle goes beyond Congolese border and even beyond African border, and all oppressed people, because all oppressed people in the world are struggling against the imperialist system.
Le travailleur africain, le peuple d'Asie, d'Amérique latine, le masse populaire exploité partout dans le monde ont un ennemi commun, qui est le capitalisme impérialiste. Voilà pourquoi nous défendons l'unité des peuples opprimés du monde entier. Nous croyons à une solidarité internationale contre l'impérialisme, le néocolonialisme, le racisme, les guerres de domination, ainsi que contre l'exploitation capitaliste.
The African workers and the people of Asia, Latin America, and all the popular mass exploited have a common enemy, capitalism, and imperialist capitalism. That's why we defend the unity of all oppressed people around the world, because we are all exploited by this neo-colonial, imperialist, capitalist, and racist system.
La révolution africaine ne constitue pas seulement une nécessité pour le peuple africain. Elle fait partie du combat mondial contre l'impérialisme qui exploite le travailleur et le peuple opprimé sur tous les continents. Le Congo... Oui, le Congo et l'Afrique centrale peuvent devenir un point d'appui majeur de la lutte mondiale contre l'impérialisme, à condition que le masse populaire s'organise autour d'un projet révolutionnaire panafricain et socialiste. D'où la lutte panafricaine fait donc partie intégrante de la lutte mondiale pour la dignité humaine et la justice sociale.
The revolution the Pan-African revolution is part of the global struggle against imperialist system, capitalist system that is exploiting workers and the people on all continents. The Congo and Africa can become the focal points in this big struggle, only at the condition that the popular masses are organized around a revolutionary Pan-African and socialist project.
Camarades, l'Afrique ne manque pas aujourd'hui ni de richesses ni de capacités humaines. Ce qui nous manque aujourd'hui, c'est l'unité politique et le pouvoir populaire révolutionnaire capable de briser les chaînes du néocolonialisme. D'où notre génération porte une responsabilité historique, celle de poursuivre les combats d'Amilcar Cabral, de Patrice Emery Lumumba, de Kwame Nkrumah, de Thomas Sankara, d'Abdel Khalik Majou, ainsi que de tous les martyrs de la lutte pour la libération de peuples opprimés. D'où nous refusons une Afrique humiliée, nous refusons une Afrique pillée, et nous refusons une Afrique divisée.
Comrades, Africa does not lack richness or human resources. What we lack is political unity, popular organization, and revolutionary power capable of breaking the chains of neocolonialism. And our generation have the big historical responsibility to continue the struggle of Patrice Lumumba, of Kwame Nkrumah, of Amilcar Cabral, of Thomas Sankara, of Abdel Khalik Majoub, and of all the matter of the liberation of Africa. And we refuse a humiliated Africa. We refuse an exploited and pillaged Africa. We refuse a divided Africa.
Alors, nous devons nous organiser, nous former et mobilisons le masse populaire et transformons le Congo et l'Afrique centrale à bastion de la révolution panafricaine, socialiste et anti-impérialiste. Vive la lutte des peuples africains, vive l'unité panafricaine, vive la solidarité des peuples opprimés du monde, vive la révolution africaine. Je tiens à remercier les camarades pour l'invitation. Voilà notre contribution pour cette journée de la libération africaine. Merci.
So let us organize, let us continue training, let us mobilize the popular masses, and let us transform the Congo and Central Africa into the stronghold of the Pan-African revolution, so the Pan-African socialist and anti-imperialist revolution. Long live the struggle of the African people. Long live Pan-African unity. Long live the solidarity of all oppressed people around the world. Long live the African Revolution. And we would like to thank you for the invitation. And this was our contribution for this African Liberation Day event.
Moving on, allow me to introduce Dr. Sidgi Kaballo from the Sudanese Communist Party, who was an associate professor at AAPRP University and a former economic researcher at the National Research Council. He taught at the faculty.
Sidgi Kaballo, Dr. Sidgi Kaballo, foi professor associado na Universidade AFAD e antigo investigador econômico no Conselho Nacional de Investigação do Sudão entre anos 1977 e 1990. Kaballo.
Thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure to talk to you for the second time. I remember we were there when you have solidarity with the Sudanese people. I have been asked really to show the lights on the Sudan and North African area was West North Africa and some of Northeast Africa, although I think there is an Eritrean problem there. We will speak about that. I don't want to be very academic. Yeah, thank you. But it is important when we are struggling that we have clear concepts about what we are struggling for, whom we are struggling for, and whom we are struggling against. It is easy to stand here and speak about globalization, for example, anti-imperialism, anti-fascism. But how the mechanism of this, how they do that? The imperialist powers, they have two stages, which you know all of our countries pass through: colonialism and the new colonialism. And in both, there are two important items: the geopolitical imperialism cares about some country because of their location. And that is what we call the geopolitical. Either they are on the way to the roads, to the seas, and here, the importance of North Africa, all countries from Morocco to Somalia, was concerning these roads. Look at Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Egypt. This is the southern Mediterranean. Morocco, not just a southern Mediterranean, also Atlantic. And it is over Jabal Tariq. This important connection between the Mediterranean and the Atlantic. Egypt, even before having the Suez Canal, the road to India through the Middle East pass either through Egypt or what is known now as Palestine, Lebanon, and Syria. Where is Sudan in this? It's very interesting that the roads to Africa, south of the Sahara, north of the Sahara, all pass through Sudan. And we'll come to the Nile in a minute. The importance of the Red Sea. Sudan has the longest coast on the Red Sea after Saudi Arabia. Saudi, the longest ever, then Sudan, and comes the other countries, Egypt, Somalia, Djibouti, Eritrea, and the Red Sea. Now, the Red Sea, 16% of the trade pass through. Almost. It is very important for Europe, for not only ordinary trade, energy, oil, gas, goes through the Red Sea. It is not the old imperialism or the new colonial. It is even countries like China, Russia, India have interest in the Red Sea. The Chinese want their Silk trade road to cross the Red Sea at some point to pass to Africa. Their interest in Sudan, Ethiopia, Eritrea is about that. The Russians all the time were searching for warm waters. Tried to find this in Syria, and now Syria became part of the imperialist camp and under the direct supervision of Israel. And it is only a matter of time that the base in Syria will be completely moved from there. It is not only that the geostrategy is about transportation. It is about defense. Let us remember something happened during the 1973 war. Israeli-Egyptian war. When King Faisal stopped exporting the oil to Europe, and the Americans began from that time planning how to defend the oil, and that this experience will never happen again. They did two things. One is to think of alternative oil in Africa and declare officially that oil in Nigeria, Angola, and Chad, and possibilities of the two Congos and Cameroon is of high interest for the Americans, including a small quantity of oil found in Sudan. So the force to defend that, called the AFRICOM. And since the formation of this force, they are pushing to have a base for it in Sudan. The leadership should be in Sudan. That is why they built the greatest embassy ever in Africa, in Khartoum. But on the other side, they were planning of getting their bases in the Gulf countries. While they are doing these plans, they started training their forces to work in the desert. And they have an exercise between Egypt, Sudan, and the United States in the East Desert of Sudan, called the Bright Star. It was very important because the Bright Star in reality was an exercise to invade Iraq and to stay in Kuwait and Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Abu Dhabi, and all this. So, on this period, Egypt and Sudan were fielded for training, for invasion. And the invasion led to 13 bases in the Gulf and Saudi. 15 military bases. The problem is still that the Sudan did not provide a base. And this has history of the struggle against colonialism in the Sudan. During the struggle against colonialism, one of the basic slogans was no military alliances, no military bases in the Sudan. And Sudan, under all regimes, tried to keep this, although there are underground work during the first military, the exercises I spoke about during the second military, and the negotiations now between the Islamists and the American. They have two things: threatening that we will give a base on the Red Sea to Russia, readiness to give you a base on the Red Sea, so that the war, when ends, bring back the Islamists either on government or have a legitimate party without being. Now, the matter is not just geopolitics. It started as geopolitics. But soon Egypt became important for cotton. Sudan became important for cotton. The defense agenda I spoke about to defend the oil in the Gulf countries. And the satellites began to show other things, make the area more important. Yes, the oil was discovered in Algeria. Different metals were discovered in Morocco. But the Sudan, you speak about anything, the satellite showed that it is there. Oil, gas, gold, uranium, copper, and what is called the precious metals which used in electronics and so on and so on and so on. So the Sudan, in addition to being geopolitically important, it became important for natural resources. Now, the question of natural resources is very important to look at it as structural dependency, where the country which has the resources is connected through a structure of economy and production that keep this country producing raw materials, whether agriculture, cotton, gum arabic, sesame, groundnuts, or metals, even gold is exported or smuggled raw. No degree of industrialization. Iron. We have an interesting source of iron in the Red Sea, very rich. And just 10 or 20 miles from this source, we have gas, which is not exploited until now, since it was discovered by the French in the 1970s in a place called Sewaki, that about 20 or 30 miles from the iron ore. And we have the other component which needed in the Southern Blue Nile to form together an industry of steel. But we keep speaking about everyone. The chrome is sent abroad, raw. The iron ore sent abroad. The gas is still underground. This is how the mechanism of keeping the economy structurally dependent on imperialism through this time international trade. Not only exporting, but also importing of commodities, industrial commodities. Some of them are not of any importance to their ordinary citizen, but they are important because they created a rich class. When we were discussing this, a lady, I think, from Guinea-Bissau said an interesting concept. Said, the enemy within us the comprador, the classes that connected with their interest with the new colonialism, with globalization, with what we call imperialism. That is the enemy within us, which not only increase the connection, the dependency, but become the counter-revolution against the struggle of the people for the liberation. Yes, we achieved the political independence. However, without restructuring our economy, we can't achieve economic independence, and we cannot liberate ourselves from the new colonialism. So our struggle is struggle for economic independence, which could not happen by just we need economic independence. We need to restructure our economy so that we can introduce industry in our economy, increase the value added. Otherwise, the economic surplus from our countries will continue moving towards the centers of capitalism. And now,
recording in progress.
that is the known by all economists. Direct investment, exporting profits. Loans, exporting interest. Technology, exporting fees of technology. Plus the terms of trade, which, because they are imbalance, they wait for the interest of the capitalist centers. This, less than 1 minute. The whole question, there are no absolute policies, absolute organization. Everything is here is relative according to the traditions of the people we are speaking about, according to the nature. But at the end, it goes to one goal, that is the end of imperialism in Africa, the liberation of Africa. Thank you.
Allow me to introduce Nayana AB, who is a soulful artist fusing jazz, alternative R&B, Caribbean rhythm, and global influences to create music that is both emotionally rich and culturally grounded. She recently graduated with first class.
It's the color of my skin threatening, 'cause you move like it's a sin. I'm caged in my skin tight, but they only notice my skin tight. The color of my skin, yeah, it must be threatening, 'cause they treat it like a sin and cage us in. The waves in my hair, yeah, they're waving from despair. We're tired of the lies and the murder in your eyes. Blue lights, they are blinding, we're no longer abiding. Why, yeah, 'cause I'm in my skin tight, but you only notice my skin tight. The color of our skin, yeah, it must be threatening, 'cause they treat it like a sin and cage us in our skin tight. They only notice our skin tight. The color of our skin, yeah, it must be threatening, 'cause they treat it like a sin and cage us in. How can you tell me that I'm eager when they're killing all my people? Stop and search for my brother, he can't breathe, not another. I can't breathe. Hands up, turn around, but my face is on the ground. Officer, stay in check, get your knee up off my neck. Do you see this is my melanin? You'll never be irrelevant. Fighting all lies, put your fists up to the sky, black lives. In my skin tights, they only. Whoa, do you see this melanin? It is slowly creeping in, and it cannot get us in our skin tights, they only. In yours and mine, and yours and mine. Thank you. Can you guys please make some noise for Maniko and the team over? The next song I'm going to do for you is called Extending. So before we start this song, I just ask you guys to take a deep breath with me, and I'm going to guide you through it. And we're going to breathe in for our nose and out for our mouths. And when you're breathing in, make sure you breathe all the way into your belly, because that's how you get the deep part of our breath. And we're going to breathe. If you want to close your eyes as well, sometimes it makes it easier to feel the breath in your body as well. But yeah, we'll take 3 deep breaths. So you breathe in for your nose. And then out for our mouths. In for our noses. Out for our mouths. And then in for our noses. And out for our mouths. expand on myself, trying to be a better person. Here are the things I've been learning. Take time, relax, unwind. I'm tired of all the excuses. I give them, you take them and lose it, lose it, lose it. If you keep giving out good energy, I promise you that good energy will make its way back to you. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but when it comes back, it will come back in so much abundance, and it'll be worth it. This next one I do for you is called The Fight. And I wrote this song because we're all fighting. This London life living is hard, and we're all juggling. And it was a song to remind myself to keep fighting, and the people who listen to keep fighting. So I hope you enjoy it. This next song I'm going to do for you is my last song, and this one is called Joy. I wrote this song because I feel like in the heart of the revolution there has to be joy. We have to make space for us to recharge and energize ourselves. And joy is resistance. So I wrote this song because I want to manifest joy, and I've been praying for joy, and I want to speak that into my life and everybody's life who gets to listen to the song. So this is how it goes. I'm going to sing it to you, and then we're going to have a second to practice it I'm praying for some joy. I'm praying for some joy. I'm praying for some joy, 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 joy. I'm praying for some joy. I'm praying for some joy. I'm praying for some joy, 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 joy. Oh, stitch back another second as we repaint it now. Our future's in the making, and you can't stop me now. I fight for liberation. This time I'm screaming aloud, trapped in this broken system. I think it's time we burn it, searching for that something deeper. Life unknown could be so much sweeter. Uphill climb, but there's still no end in sight. Fighting my whole life. Asking God, please won't you save me? Working on team, had to start with the breeze. I open my heart and clear my mind now. Tap back in level, lessons sink in now. Open my heart and let the joy rain. Are you guys ready? I'm praying for some joy. I'm praying for some joy. I'm praying for some joy, 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 joy. I'm praying for some joy. I'm praying for some joy. I'm praying for some joy, 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 joy. I'm praying for some joy. I'm praying for some joy. I'm praying for some joy, 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 joy. I'm praying for some joy. I'm praying for some joy. I'm praying for some joy, 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 joy. Oh, thank you, guys. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for coming out today. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful evening. I'll see you guys next week.
Representing from the Cuban Communist Party to give us a united message. Please give them a warm welcome.
Thanks so much. Dear comrades and friends, thank you for inviting the Cuban Embassy and the Cuban Communist Party to this magnificent event. To stand before you today is to stand at the crossroads of our shared history and our shared future. Your theme this year speaks the truth that Cuba knows very well in its very bones. Revolutionary Pan-Africanism fights in solidarity with oppressed peoples everywhere. Our struggle is one. For Cuba, this is a living, breathing reality written in blood and sealed in sacrifice. Our Commander-in-Chief, Fidel Castro, said it plainly, and we say it again today. Cuba is not only a Latin American country, we are a Latin African nation. The blood of Africa flows through our veins, carried across the Atlantic by the horror of slave trade. But from that horror arose also the African resilience, the African courage, and the African spirit, the very fuel of our own wars of independence. This is not a historical footnote. It is the very foundation of everything we are. And because of this unbreakable bond, Cuba has always understood that our freedom was incomplete without the total liberation of Africa. When the anti-colonial struggles called, Cuba answered, not with investors, not with extraction companies hungry for diamonds, gold, or labor. We sent our sons and daughters in Guinea-Bissau, Namibia, Mozambique, the Congo, and of course in Angola. Cuban fighters shed their blood alongside African liberation movements to dismantle colonialism and defeat the apartheid regime of South Africa. We did not go as conquerors. We went to repay a historical debt to our motherland. When Algeria won its independence from France in 1963, the French doctors left the country. Cuba sent health workers to fill that void. That was our very first medical mission. Over 60 years later, we have never stopped. Since then, more than 600,000 Cuban healthcare workers have served in over 160 countries. Even today, approximately 24,000 Cuban doctors, nurses, and health professionals are actively deployed across 56 nations, most of them in Africa. Not because we have an abundance to spare, but because we share what we have. When Ebola threatened West Africa in 2014, Cuba sent the largest single country medical contingent of doctors, nurses, and epidemiologists into Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Guinea. That is what socialist internationalism looks like in practice. When COVID-19 struck, Cuban brigades deployed once again across Africa, to South Africa, to Angola, to nations under siege by a virus that respected no border. In crisis after crisis, Cuba does not wait to be asked twice. And we do not only heal Africa's sick, we train Africa's brothers as healers. At our Latin American School of Medicine in Havana, thousands of African students, many from rural and disadvantaged communities, are trained free of charge every year with only one condition, that they return home and serve those who need them most. We do not build dependency, we build capacity. And for daring to build this sovereign socialist alternative, for daring to stand with the oppressed, Cuba has been subjected to the longest, most comprehensive economic warfare in modern history. For almost 7 decades now, the United States has maintained an illegal blockade against my people. But right now, through new savage secondary sanctions and energy warfare, imperialist forces are systematically depriving our island of oil, seeking to plunge our hospitals, our schools, and our homes into darkness. This is a collective punishment against the Cuban people, but would draw immense strength from the revolutionary Pan-African movement. Its legacy lives on in the principled solidarity you continue to show us. We deeply value your presence at the 60th anniversary of Granma and Juventud Rebelde in Havana, your solidarity in Mexico, and the brigades you sent to our shores. Dear comrades, our struggles are one. The fight to end the blockade on Cuba is inseparable from the defense of Venezuela's sovereignty, the liberation of Palestine, and the unification of Africa. So please, comrades, keep building solidarity, expose the blockade against Cuba, defend the right of every oppressed nation to self-determination. Cuba will always stand with you. Thank you so much.
The All-African People's Revolutionary Party next year is going to have African Liberation Day. African Liberation Day is 25 years old. Those who don't know the history don't know it, but those who do know it respect it and pay homage to it. African Liberation Day has been celebrated in Russia. African Liberation Day has been celebrated in China. African Liberation Day has been celebrated all over Africa. It's been celebrated all over the Caribbean, and it will continue to be celebrated. After next year, our party is not going to have one African Liberation Day. After next year, we're going to regionalize. We're going to have 5. And after a few more years, we're going to put African Liberation Day everywhere there is an African